Sakura remembered her training from her days in the academy. She remembered one lesson in particular. Iruka had all of the students gathered together in the training hall, each one holding a roll of bandage tape. Today, kids, the technique I'm going to show you is the curse binding band technique. It's a standard curse technique that anyone can learn. It's low cost, but it can be pretty effective. Iruka would demonstrate. Iruka would infuse his cursed energy into the band before unraveling it, controlling it via cursed energy. With mental precision, he would use it to wrap around the test dummy. But the band would continue to move, even though it seemed like he was going to run out. With your cursed energy, you can do more than just manipulate. You can continue to add to the band, increasing its durability and increasing its length. The students were impressed. It takes a certain level of control to be able to do it. Of course, everything will depend on your strength. Some of you might be able to make more than others, but it's a technique that's perfectly used for capture or for defense. The better control you have, the faster you can make more binding tape. Sakura made a mental note of this. It was a technique that she practiced often. Eventually, she was able to increase her range. At first, using a 10-foot band, she could increase it from 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, before tiring herself out. That was the max her cursed energy could go. But, after being added to Team 7, training alongside Sasuke and Megumi, her supply of cursed energy slowly began to rise. What the others hadn't known, she could go far more than just 20 feet. Sakura would back up with Megumi and with Sasuke as she told them her plans. Are you sure about that? It's our only chance. We have to take him down, no matter what. The first step was diversion. All three of them would throw down smoke bombs, only obscuring the vision on the field further, not just with the fog. When it cleared, the Zabuza clone found himself surrounded by a bunch of Sakuras. Clones, and quite a few of them. Megumi and Sasuke would activate their Sharingan, waiting for the right opportunity. The clone Sakuras would all charge towards the water clone Zabuza. One by one, they were dismantled, taken down with ease. The real Sakura would hide amongst them, attempting to get close only to be swatted back. The moment that she was, though, she knew that this was her opportunity. Getting closer to the real Zabuza being hit in his direction, she immediately weaved through a series of hand signs before shooting out her binding tape. The binding tape would grab hold of Zabuza's other free hand as she began to hold on for dear life. So this was your strategy. Having your clones get close to me, and then trying to bind my other arm, like I can't rip you apart. Yeah, one band won't be enough. So how about several? Multiple banding tapes would wrap around Zabuza, now causing him to be a bit more worried as he tried to rip them off. Meanwhile, Sasuke and Megumi would now charge at the water clone, their Sharingans activated. They moved in unison, dodging and evading, before eventually finding an opening for themselves. On opposite sides of the clone, both boys would use the fire-style fireball jutsu. The water clone would drop his sword using the water-style wire wall. But this was just another diversion. The moment that the water wall came down, from out of nowhere, a Shikigami antelope, whose horns were sharp and dangerous, would come charging towards him. "Another one of my Shikigami," Megami said. "I wish I hadn't used the elephant earlier, but what I lack in power, this one makes up for with speed." Before the Zabuza clone knew what hit him, he had been stabbed, and now the Shikigami antelope was charging towards him. However, Zabuza now found himself in a precarious predicament. One hand was holding the water prison with Kakashi, while the other arm was being held down by multiple cursed bands from Sakura, who continued to extend over and over again. "I have 5 rolls. Each one can extend up to 30 feet. Using that to my advantage. That's over 1,500 feet worth of tape. Even if he can rip through one, he has to go through layer after layer. I just have to hold on long enough." "Huh? Damn. She's got it on tight." Zabuza saw that the antelope was getting closer. Both Megami and Sasuke, wanting to seize their opportunity, would start emptying out their shuriken pouches, throwing everything they could. One way or another, even if he can get past one, he can't get past all of us. Zabuza saw what was coming. The boys had coordinated with their shuriken using the shuriken jutsu, causing their kunais to bounce off of one another. Zabuza would be pelted from every side. Even if the antelope didn't do any serious damage with his horns, he would still be taking kunais and shuriken to the back. Zabuza had to think, what was he going to do? He knew he had no choice. Without hesitation, he would let go of the wire prison before pulling off his sword from his back. Using it, he would swing it around to block as many of the shurikens as possible, though a few of them would stab him in the leg and in the thigh. He used the main sword to cut off all of the bands wrapped around his other free arm. Sakura couldn't hold it any longer. His eyes blazed as he looked towards the girl. "I told you, I won't lose to cheap tricks!" He raised his blade, ready to bring it down onto her. But before he could, the antelope would come charging in right at him. Zabuza, using his one free arm, would slam the Shikigami into the ground. He was prepared to cut Sakura in half, but before he could, Kakashi would block him. Kakashi's Sharingan would blaze at Zabuza. "Step away, right now." Zabuza would back off, readying himself for the real fight. Sakura would get to her feet, standing behind Kakashi. "Good work, all 3 of you. Sakura, excellent teamwork." Thank you, Master. I couldn't have done it without the others. I knew that trying to beat him would be impossible. Our only goal was to get you free. Though, whatever damage we could do to him in the process, I figured it would help once you were out. Sakura would race back with the others as they got on defense. Tazuna couldn't believe what was going on. Those kids. Those sniveling little runts. All this time they had been holding their own, fighting with everything they had to save their sensei. Despite tricking them, despite his lies, they had put everything on the line, showing their true heart and determination, truly worthy of respect. Don't kid yourself. All you've done is delay the inevitable. I could have taken you on at any time. Don't kid yourself, Zabuza. You were forced to let go. But I warned you. You won't get a second chance with me. Zabuza would begin to run through a series of hand signs, as Kakashi would mimic him. Instantly, 2 water dragons would slash between one another, but Zabuza's was far weaker. He didn't want to admit it, but between almost being pelted full of shuriken and kunais, between his right arm being stabbed through with the horns of the Shikigami antelope. He was losing a lot more blood, and his stamina was decreasing. Kakashi would then counter with the water-style water vortex jutsu, slamming him once again. More kunais pelted into his arms and legs, causing him to be paralyzed and unable to move, as Kakashi stood above him. But how? How were you able to cast that jutsu before me? You can see into the future. I can. And do you know what I see? I see your death. Before Kakashi could deal the final blow, 2 Senbon needles would stab Zabuza in the neck. He collapsed to the ground lifeless as a new fighter arrived onto the scene. That was a close one. The masked shinobi walked towards the body. Kakashi would stand alongside his students. Who are you? I am a tracker ninja from the village hidden in the mist. Zabuza was a rogue of ours. I was sent to dispose of him. I didn't mean for our troubles to cause you any harm, and for that I am deeply sorry. The masked shinobi would pick up Zabuza's body. I must dispose of him now, in accordance with my village. With that, the masked ninja would disappear, as Kakashi would collapse from exhaustion. He was glad that he didn't have to rely on that power, at least not now. Tazuna would escort the children back to his home. There, his daughter, Tsunami, along with his grandson Inari, would be waiting. Kakashi was taken to a spare room and given some time to rest, while the children would take a time to eat and collect their supplies. Kakashi would be out for a day or two. In the meantime, Sakura, Sasuke, and Megami would go over everything that happened. Do you think we've survived the worst of it? Megami would say. What do you mean? Sasuke would ask. I mean, if Zabuza is the worst of the shinobi that we're going to face between now and then, perhaps we're in the clear. I wouldn't go saying that, Tazuna said, sitting down with the children. Gato is a very persistent little pig. This won't stop him. It may take time, but there will be others. How many more could he send? It's a large world, little girl, Tazuna said. There are probably rogue ninja from all over, all of them waiting for a paycheck. Is your life really worth that much? Sasuke would say. His life's worth a lot more than any of yours. The little boy spoke up. His mother would scold him for saying such things, especially after it was the work of the ninja that brought him home. Even Tazuna, not one to usually disagree with Inari, would have to show some form of lenience. After all, he had seen these children fight tooth and nail to keep him alive. I apologize. The boy can be, well, he can act out a bit. So, what about Gato? Sasuke would ask. You really think someone else is coming? It's not a matter of if someone's coming, it's a matter of when. I'm the head bridge builder of this land. The work, the bridge, everything. It all comes through me. If I don't continue this work, no one else will. There are good people in this village, but a lot of them don't have the spine to stand up to Gato. So what would be so bad about this bridge being built? It seems to be such a big pain if he's going through all the trouble to stop you. Our village is very poor. We pay Gato for protection money, but really it's all just one big racket. Gato sets up shop. He controls the flow of cash, power, and influence. The people here starve while he gets greedy and gets bigger. If we were able to connect a bridge to the mainland, it would bring commerce and trade. Suddenly, we wouldn't need Gato's assistance. We would also like to establish a few temples here as well. There are low-level curses, some of them that come about at night. Most homes have talisman and protective seals like ours, though sometimes more powerful ones can roam about. It's rare that anything too bad comes along, but still, we'd like to be able to get our own protection. There used to be a shaman that lived out in this land, one that Gato hired personally. But he's just as much of a shark as anyone else. He charges tooth and nail for his services, and if you can't pay the fee, you don't get protection. He might come out to fight cursed spirits from time to time, but he only does it if your wallet's good enough. I figured that there could be more shamans that we could invite out here. People who would be willing to help out, and those who wouldn't be so taxing on our purses. I see, Megami said. So it's just one big extortion racket. In a way of speaking, yes. Gato, he extorts not only for protection, but also he extorts out of fear. The fear of being attacked by a cursed spirit. We're not a big enough nation to have shinobi, not like the Hidden Leaf. So the best we can do is hire shaman, or those who practice in the exorcism arts and are more freelance. They go to the more smaller nations like ours and serve as protectors. I get it now, Sakura said. So that's why we're here. Potentially to exorcise spirits and to also keep Gato's thugs from attacking you. That's the gist of it. The bridge will be nearly complete in about 2 to 3 weeks' time. I know it's a lot to ask. You've gone through so much, and yet I still need your help. At least until the bridge is built. I promise, whatever proceeds we can use from that, I'll pay you back as best I can. It can't be helped, a voice would say from the other room. It was Kakashi who had finally awoken. Everyone would gather by his side. It's good to see that we all survived this ordeal. I'm proud of all of you. You've carried yourself like fine shinobi. Though, our work has only just begun. Why do you say that? Because Zabuza's not dead. Everyone in the room became horrified at that. What do you mean he's not dead? Isn't that tracker ninja the one that killed him? Come on, you saw it happen. You're right. We did see it happen. But what happened after the body was taken away? Kakashi said. There are those who are trained to use needle sinbon. They're able to stab through certain pressure points, even ones in the neck. When hit just right, you can simulate death. Isn't this all just speculation? Come on, you really think that would be true? I do. In most villages, when dealing with a rogue shinobi, it's custom to destroy the body right then and there. A shinobi's body contains many secrets. The ninjutsu, the cursed jutsu, the techniques they use, their cursed energy, Kekkei Genkai, cursed techniques. Everything can be hidden in the body and its DNA. Destroying it is of the utmost importance. Any real tracker ninja would know that and would have dispelled of the body immediately. They wouldn't take it somewhere else and do it, potentially leaving secrets. No, the one in the mask was most likely working with Zabuza. If I had to take a guess, the masked shinobi had been there from the very start, watching from a distance. Zabuza likely thought that he could take us on alone. He underestimated my students, and it cost him. Between all of his injuries And the drainage that I felt, it'll take a while before we're both at full strength. He'll need time to recover. How much time? About 2 to 3 weeks. I believe that's when he'll make his move, along with the masked ninja and whoever else they're working with. It only buys us a short amount of time. A short amount of time? Sasuke looked to the others. Time for what? Time to train, of course. To train? How are you going to be able to train us? Look at the condition you're in, Sakura would say. I'm not dead, Sakura. Not yet, at least. There is time to train. You all showed that you're capable of a lot, but you still have so much further to go. 2 to 3 weeks. It's not a lot, but we can make the most of it. I'm going to get you ready. When he comes back, you'll be 10 times stronger than before. Meanwhile, in Zabuza's hideout, Zabuza Momochi laid in bed as the masked shinobi tended to his wounds, while an older man looked over them. His name, Gringo. Wow, the great Zabuza, demon of the mist, got his ass kicked by a girly girl and a couple of children. Shut the hell up. I have to admit, Zabuza, you never cease to amaze me. Do you want me to take your head off, you damn fool? Oh, no, go on, take your time. It's not like I've got anything better to do. I've just been out stealing those idiots' money. Seriously, they think I'm actually going to fight their spirits for them. Still, I can only give you so much slack. You faced off against Kakashi of the Sharingan, and you said you fought 2 of the Uchiha. Last I heard, that clan had been destroyed. It's not wise to be sending out precious treasure. Very valuable treasure. Don't get any ideas. When my wounds have healed, I'm going to get my revenge. Yeah, do whatever you want. Kill the bridge builder, get your 50 million Rio. I don't really care about that. I have a different spoil in mind. Spoil? That's right. If I count correctly, that's 5 pair of Sharingan. Well, to be more specific, it's 2 pair and an extra. 5 Sharingan in total between Kakashi and those brats. So that's what you're after. The Sharingan? Of course. The last of the Uchiha. Prime Sharingan on the market. You know how much that'll fetch? And you really think I won't get a cut of that? After the stunt you pulled, you'll be lucky if you get anything from me. Tell you what, you can fight over the little squirts Sharingans if you want. I want the one Kakashi's got. He's older, more experienced. His has probably got to be fully developed. Just one would set me for life. Perhaps I could use it for myself. Take my ninjutsu and my jujutsu to the next level. I could become Gringo of the Sharingan. And you really think that's a wise idea? The masked shinobi said. Shut up and get to work. It's your master who's lying on the table. You take care of him. I won't be spending a dime of my money to do it. I'll leave it to you for now. Meanwhile, I've got a lot of work to do, cleaning up your mess. Remember, the masked shinobi said, you're only to observe them. You're not to engage in battle. Yeah. Gringo would simply smile as he walked out of the room. Zabuza and that brat of his had been dead weight for far too long. This was his retirement plan. Yeah, he could get away from this damned island, Gato, Zabuza, all of them. All he had to do was get his hands on the Sharingan. You smell that, boys? Smells like opportunity. This concludes Naruto, King of Curses, Way of Naruto with the Jujutsu Sorcerer, The Land of Waves arc, Part 4. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is Power Core Productions and Podcastings that's to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned tomorrow as we continue with Naruto, King of Curses, Way of Naruto was the Jujutsu Sorcerer, The Land of Waves arc, Part 5. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with Power Core Productions and Podcastings, signing off, and I'll see you next time.